Hey y'all, hey, this is Jay. I wanted to come back with a quick bankruptcy update. On Friday, which was the 20th of June, let me back up. On Wednesday, the 18th, I was notified via phone from the bankruptcy court that I didn't sign my complaint for my adversary proceeding to have my student loans discharged. So I went in Friday and I signed the complaint and submitted that. So that's really the only update. I was in communication with the assistant U.S. attorney's office, the local one, and she just said she's just waiting. So she will be in contact with me. So that's where we are with that. Just wanted to hop on and give that quick update. Make sure you sign your complaint. They need a pen to paper signature, not electronic signature. All right, bye. Hey y'all, hey, this is Jay. Today is Monday, August the 25th, 2025. And on Friday, August the 22nd, 2025, I was sent an email from the Assistant U.S. Attorney's Office, U.S. Attorney General's office, and she stated that in the hearing, the pretrial hearing today, that she was going to request a 90-day continuance. She's been in communication with the U.S. Department of Education, but she felt that additional time was needed. And she asked if I was okay with it. And she asked a couple of follow-up questions just to clarify some of the documentation that I sent her. One of them was like some of my withholdings and my payroll, and then the other one, she asked for a copy of my 2024 tax return. So I sent those last week, and she told me on Friday that she was going to request a continuance. I just arrived to the courthouse maybe, 15 minutes prior to the 10 o'clock start time. They opened the door at 9:59. It is 10, I don't know what time it is. I got back to the car like 17 minutes later maybe. So my clock is a little fast so that I'm not late places. But yeah, so basically just myself and I believe an attorney there. I think the other parties were via Zoom. I was the very first person. And I went up to the front, and again, the Assistant U.S. Attorney General's representative was there, and she requested the 90 days, and she also indicated that she felt like this might be favorable for me, and the judge confirmed the same. So she said that if it is resolved prior to the 90 days, she would make a final judgment and they would make me aware. And the way we close is that she said, "I hope not to see you again." So I was told by the lady that I met in the hallway that this particular judge loves people that file pro se. So this is potentially becoming a reality. So again, this is my update for my student loan adversary or student loan discharge adversary proceeding process. I don't remember the date that I initially filed, but I did have my pre-trial hearing conference today, August the 25th, 10 a.m. And my continuance is in December. So I believe we have a really good chance. We're talking about $125,000 worth of student loans to potentially be discharged. Now, the Department of Education could say yes, no, or some, right? I've heard someone said that they were willing to discharge like 30% of their student loans. So I'm praying for all, right? Because monthly payments with what I currently owe, the last I checked was like $700 plus a month. I don't have that. So that is the update. I appreciate you guys for following me on my journey. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment if you have any experience in this process. I don't want to forget my ID. So we pull that out. But yeah, so that went well. She said I could have joined Zoom. I just wanted to come in person. But the next one I will definitely join via Zoom. So thanks guys for listening. Bye. Hey y'all, hey, this is Jay. Wanted to give a quick student loan adversary proceeding update. So today is November the 12th, and I attended court back in August and received a 90-day continuance and due back in court December the 1st. During that hearing, my assistant U.S. Attorney's Office representative was present virtually. I was there in person. They did give an option for virtual, but I just felt like I wanted to be in person. So basically, she did request a 90-day continuance for her to correspond with the Department of Education to see how we proceed. So court was reset for 12/1. Again, today is November the 12th, and I hadn't heard from her. She's really good about, like, oh my gosh, so good about communicating. I emailed her a couple weeks ago just because the court date is approaching and just wanted to check in. And I know we were in a shutdown, and she did explain that she's furloughed. But she did tell me that she would reach out to the Department of Education. I asked her, my question was to her, would it potentially delay the process because of the shutdown? And she did say possibly. So she said that there was a possibility it would delay it because of the shutdown. And she did explain she was furloughed and she was very limited in what she can do due to lack of resources, finances, et cetera, et cetera. So that was maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe. She emailed me back last week and said, she sent an email saying that, this was last Friday, actually. She emailed me back and said that she reached out to the Department of Education. Actually, back up. A couple weeks ago, she said she contacted them and they said that they had made a preliminary decision. They were waiting for final approval. She emailed me last Friday, today is Wednesday, stating that the Department of Education had agreed to discharge my student loans. I have over $120,000. I think when I last calculated last week was $124,000 in student loans between 3 programs: my undergrad, my initial master's, and a partial master's of social work that I did not complete. Everything is attacking me today, y'all. It is not, because I got on orange. Of course the bees. That does not want me to get this message up. But, so she did say she had to complete some paperwork to submit to the court. Again, she's limited in what she can do because of the shutdown, but she said that she would do her best to get it in as soon as possible, and then the court has to process and do some stuff, and then they will submit everything to the Department of Education, and then they will process the discharge. Again, I started the year 2025 with over, I'm not going to say it was over, I would say over 150 or around $150,000 in debt. And hopefully, prayerfully, everything gets processed before the end of the year. If not, I'm okay. There's no there is a rush, but it's not a rush, right? Because I'm grateful. But my goal is to end the year with less than $10,000 in debt. We can talk about that part another day. But I'm grateful. So grateful. And of course, this is due to undue hardship. That is what you have to prove. And from what I understand, this has to be done within, I think, 30 to 60 days of your Chapter 7 bankruptcy discharge. So, you have to file a complaint for the student loan. Special proceeding is what it's called at the court, to request to have your student loans discharged. Again, you have to prove undue hardship. I did consult with an attorney. If you want her information, I'll be happy to send that. She does do an initial call, complimentary, and then there's a strategy call, one-on-one session, and that's $300. At least I pay $300. I don't know if her rate has decreased, increased, or what that looks like, but she was great. She made sure that my complaint was accurate, included everything that I needed. And I wanted to ensure, again, I had $120,000 plus on the line. So I wanted to ensure that it included everything I needed to increase my chances of having my student loans discharged. So today, again, is November the 12th, 2025. And as of last Friday, I was informed via email that my student loans, and I'll try to copy that here, student loans will be discharged. It is possible. That is the reason I'm sharing this. It is possible. I've done a lot of research since January of this year and filing my bankruptcy via Upsolve, my Chapter 7 bankruptcy via Upsolve, which is a nonprofit that helps you, and they help you out for free. You just have to you have to pay the filing fee, which I think is $338, which your courts can break it down into 3 payments. So I would say roughly this year, I spent about $700, and having over $160,000 worth of debt discharged. So to me, the $700. It was initially the filing fee. I mean, all of it was like it was a sacrifice because again, we're in bankruptcy. But it was worth it. You know, we'll see how things go. I know a lot of people talk about rebuilding credit. I've already started that kind of process. Honestly, credit for me is not a thing. I'm always good on my payments. It's just more so the utilization, which I do have a few new credit cards, so I'm working to get those down or whatever, because the utilization has always been like a challenge for me. So yeah, that's it. Bye.